Let's move on to next week.
Cool.
UFC 313.
Yeah. Today, I just kind of want to talk about the co-main event and the main event. Your thoughts on our co-main event: Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev, number two.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, I've seen Justin Gaethje in a bunch of fights, and he just is always a fun guy to watch, right? He always brings it. He's never not like the most exciting fighter in the octagon. Even in his couple of losses, he just is always bringing it.
Yes, vastly understated. He has 13 fights in the UFC. He has 13 performance of the night bonuses in general, whether it's fight of the night or performance of the night. Every single fight that he has had in the UFC has been an absolute banger. so,
Yeah.
uh,
So
this is going to
yes,
be no
he
different.
he always does bring it. When I was
Exactly.
saying that, I was very much understanding it. I did not know that him always bringing it was such a crucial part of his career.
Yes, yeah, man. He is a star child of the UFC. You cannot ask for a fighter that is going to bring more viewers than Justin Gaethje. Every single time he's out there, it's a slugfest. Does he throw defense to the win sometimes? Yes, but you are always going to be glued to your TV when Justin, the highlight Gaethje, is on the screen. But across the octagon from him is Rafael Fiziev,
Right.
who did you see his first fight against Justin Gaethje?
I did not. I did not see that. What happened in that fight?
Um, Banger of a fight, obviously.
Obviously,
Um,
that's what Justin Gaethje does.
yeah, and Fiziev, honestly, the biggest thing that I saw was that he started to fade as the fight went on, and he just not could not keep up with the volume of Justin Gaethje.
Was it a 5 or a 3 round fight?
3 round fight. And as
Okay.
far as I know, this should be another 3 round fight. I know that there's exceptions where co-main events, even if they're not title fights, they'll do 5 rounds. But as far as I know, this is going to be a 3 rounder.
Okay.
But Fiziev, very, very big lightweight. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, when you get those guys that are dick skin lean and just, huge for the weight class, it's a lot of oxygen required to fuel those muscles. And
Right.
so a lot of
And
time
they
you
have to
see those
cut so
guys.
hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cannot look over that as well. The cut is harder, and the oxygen that it takes to fuel that muscle mass as the fight goes on, that explosive, fast twitch, powerful, you know, aura about them starts to fade often.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, and I don't think we can underestimate the cut, right? That like even if it's the next day, right? It's following day weigh-ins, right? So
Yep.
so like even then, like when you're cutting 30, 40 pounds, right? It affects you so much, right?
That would
You
be a massive weight cut.
yeah,
But 30 might be pretty accurate, honestly.
yeah, like
I'd say more 20 to 30
okay.
pound cut would be,
I was
yeah.
probably thinking more of the upper weights. I bet like the light
Oh, yeah.
heavyweight guys are cutting
Yeah.
over 30 pounds, right? Like
Yeah, for sure. The bigger you get in the weight classes, the more aggressive the cut can be.
yeah,
I mean, Francis Ngannou, I've heard cuts from like 300 down to 265. So, that 40 pound range is not unheard of.
yeah.
But yeah, I I think that we're up for another exciting fight. So Fiziev is coming off 2 losses now. He
Okay.
lost he lost to Justin Gaethje, and he lost in his last fight, but he looked great in his last fight and tore his ACL during the fight.
Oh, during
Yes.
the
So
fight. Oh,
yep. Yeah, so it was interesting. He went for a kick with his right leg, and while basing on his left leg, he had a non-contact
oh. So,
injury.
in his left leg.
Yep.
Mm.
Um,
What
so
happened
this is also
afterwards? Could he
his.
just not stand anymore? And was it? Did he
They
like?
stopped it straight away. Yeah,
Okay.
he kind of dropped to the ground, and referee jumped in because he was
Okay.
unable to continue. But this is his first fight back since the ACL tear
Gotcha.
on short week notice.
Oh
Short
man.
notice, yeah. So Justin Gaethje was supposed to fight Dan Hooker, which was set up to be possibly the best fight of 2025 coming out in the beginning of March, because both of those are guys that go to war. Dan Hooker out for an injury, so Fiziev steps in for a rematch, and this is a very important fight. They're both in the rankings.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Is Gaethje looking at maybe going for the title after this fight?
Yeah, so Gaethje has had, this would be his third title fight, or sorry, fourth time fighting for the title. He
Okay.
had the interim belt at one point, and then he lost it, and he's challenged two other times. But he, because of how good he is, he has stayed in the top rankings for a long time now. And yes, he has the ability to go for another title fight here soon, whether it's after this fight or after the next one. He's right there. Fiziev has never fought for the title, but let me take a look here. He is
Oh,
sitting at the 11th spot.
11th. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And lightweight is just such a competitive division. It might be the most competitive division in the sport, and it might have the best pound for pound fighter in the sport in Islam Makhachev, right?
Yeah.
Like
He is
who is it that
the
Gaethje
he is the
lost
pound
to?
for pound top ring fighter right now. So
Yeah. So like,
who
I
has
mean,
Gaethje lost to? Is that what you
yeah.
asked?
For you said he fought for the title. Who did he lose to in the fight, in the title fight? So his most recent fight, I'm guessing that was the BMF fight
Yes,
where
it
he
was.
lost to Max Holloway.
Yep.
Um,
And his only other loss since
let's
like
see.
2021 was against
Charles
uh
Oliveira is what I've got here.
oh, okay, yeah. So okay, so three losses. Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, and Khabib.
Yeah,
So like we were talking about, the literal best of the best are the only
yeah,
ones that have been able to take him out. So he's still up there in contention at all times.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, he might be in the hardest division to win in the UFC, right? Like, I with Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira up there, like, I don't know. It's just such a great group of fighters up there, right?
Yeah. No, very, very tough division. And some people say that there's a lot of gatekeepers up at the top who have kept challenging for the belt, but
Yeah,
honestly, there's only a slight discrepancy in skill from the top 5 down to the top 10. It's I'm glad that Justin Gaethje is fighting one of those guys in that 10, 11 spot, giving some of those
yeah,
guys an opportunity to get up there and challenge for the belt as well.
yeah. Yeah, so because like Justin Gaethje might be the guy you're talking about as the gatekeeper of the division, right? Like,
He
in
has
or,
been, yeah.
in order to get into the top ranks, you gotta get past Gaethje, and you just can't get past him.
Yeah, few have.
Same with
Uh,
Charles Oliveira, right? Like,
yeah,
you,
I'm excited for Charles to rematch for the title
yeah,
here soon. I think that I don't know. He got, I wouldn't say dominated, but it was one sided
yeah,
for sure. But Charles Oliveira has shown just such amazing transformation in his fight career that I would not be surprised if he comes back new and approved and gives Islam Makhachev a run for his money.
yeah. And as great as Islam Makhachev is, eventually someone's gonna find a chink in his armor. Like, I know he's an incredible fighter, but there's got to be someone out there that's gonna find a chink in that armor that allows them to beat him, right? Like,
I
he
think it's
can't be
possible
that
that that doesn't
invincible.
happen for a while though. It there's been champions that have reigned for a long time,
Yeah,
several times in the past. I think that he has the ability to be that fighter, and he's just really getting started with his reign. So
yeah,
I agree that because it's such a deep division, that there could be fighters that step in and are able to figure out his puzzle, but he's so good that he could have a long reign as champion.
yeah. And do you think he'll eventually try to go for a second belt, like go for that welterweight belt?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's too soon. I think that he should, because it's such a deep division. He's got several title defenses that he can do to build up his resume and his legacy
Yeah,
before he really needs to think about going up. If there's, if you take a look at featherweight, you have Ilya Taporia. Um,
Yep.
he has beaten the best of the best and beaten them pretty decisively,
Yeah.
right? There's still depth in the lightweight division where, Islam can prove his legacy before deciding to go up. I would like to see him stay at lightweight for a little while. It's time. 5 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. I won't do a full intro on the fighters, but we have Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. What do you think?
I have this main opinion, and that is that Alex Pereira is the best fighter in the UFC. Not including John Jones, because he's obviously the GOAT. But like, I think Alex Pereira
There's a
is
difference
just,
between best resume and best fighter, though. So, because I think Alex Pereira makes the argument.
yeah. I just he's just that guy. He had that what's middleweight? Is that below light heavyweight?
Yep. Start that from the
Yeah,
top. He had.
he had that middleweight belt for a long time. He fought Israel Adesanya and won at the peak of his power. Obviously, he took a loss to Israel Adesanya as well, but like, that's not necessarily a huge mark on your resume. But he's just been so dominant at this light heavyweight for, I don't know what, 2 years now, that like,
Yeah, I mean, he's probably let's take a look. I think he's got 4 fights, one gaining the title and 3 defenses.
so he beat Blazkowicz for the title, and then he has 4 defenses
Okay,
against
yeah.
Prashen.
So,
I can't
and he's been
pronounce.
running through each fighter.
Yeah, it's been
So
easy. It's been too easy for him. I feel like the problem is he is an incredible fighter in a division where there's not a ton of incredible fighters at his level, right? Like, he
yeah,
doesn't
well,
have
I
a
think
Max
that this is
Holloway.
going to be a big test. I think
You
it's
think
going to be a
so?
big test. Yeah, I really do. And the reason being is that one, Ankalaev can hang with the striking. Okay,
Right.
he's a very technical striker. He's got heavy hands. He's got heavy kicks. Obviously, you have to watch out for the dynamite in Pereira's hands,
Yeah.
but he's also the best wrestler that Pereira has ever gone against.
That makes sense. I mean, he is a Dagestani man, so those guys are known for their wrestling.
Yeah,
Um,
so he's a little bit different of a wrestler than you usually see with a lot of the Dagestani fighters.
okay.
So he likes staying on the feet, or at least it seems like that in his fights. He stays on the feet pretty often, um, and he doesn't really shoot that often. It's more going
Interesting.
from the clinch up against the cage, dropping down to a takedown. Uh,
Okay.
Not to say he can't shoot out in the open, because he has, and he's done it very successfully. So I think that I think that he should and must mix in the wrestling against Alex Pereira,
Yeah.
because we have not seen Alex Pereira really put down on the canvas for very long. I think Israel Adesanya got him down very briefly, but Izzy is not a grappler,
Yep.
right? So I think that Magomed has the ability to get this to the canvas and be very dominant.
Yeah. I mean, that's really interesting. I think the scariest part about Alex Pereira is his kicks, right? Even he
And
just
that left hook, man.
obviously puts people's lights out, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like he just peppers people with kicks, takes their A game away from them by hitting that lead leg, making it so that they
Yeah.
can't, really put power into their strikes, and then once they get weak, he just takes them out with his hands.
Yeah, I think his shin bone is just made of lead, because he I've I've seen videos of him trying to teach other fighters that lead leg kick,
Yeah.
and it doesn't when they try to replicate it, it just does not look the same, because and it doesn't look like Pereira's even throwing anything behind it, but you can just like see the wincing in the person receiving the kick, even though it looks like he's just lightly tapping it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't telegraph his kicks at all. He's fantastic kickboxer, world champion,
Yep.
and yeah, I mean, that's everybody that goes against him. What do you need to do? You need to keep your defense up. You need to not let him get any unanswered punches. And I you need to put him in an uncomfortable position, which we have the ability to see with the wrestling.
Yeah. It'll be a super interesting fight. What? Okay. Who do you think is going to win this fight? I don't have my card with me, so I
I
don't
don't
have
know.
the show of who we can think. But who do you
Let me
think
think
wins
about
this
this
one?
for a split second. Let's see. I'm giving it to Pereira still. I really
Yeah.
am. He's given no reason to doubt him yet. I made the mistake last week going with Asu, thinking that the wrestling was going to be able to smother him, but this guy, he has world championship mentality, right?
Yep.
He's going to go into this fight as prepared as he can possibly be for the takedown defense. Is he going to have some crazy jujitsu off his back if he gets taken down? No, I don't think so, but I think he'll at least have the skills to get himself back up to the feet
Yep.
and or defend the takedown from happening at all at from the start. And his striking is just next level. Nobody in the UFC has the striking that Alex Pereira has, and he's got dynamite in his hands. One wrong mistake, and it's night night for
Yep.
Ankalaev.
Yep. I agree. I think I'm going with Pereira here. I think I made it pretty clear earlier that I was gonna go with Pereira. I don't think it matters how good of a wrestler you are, right? Like, I think his striking and his kicks are just too lethal. It's just that combination of weakening your opponent ever so, not even slightly. I don't want to say
Mhm.
ever so slightly because one
Can't use that in
kick.
the same sentence as him.
Exactly. All it takes is one kick, and then like your calf starts locking up. Your front leg just does not have that power anymore, and you need that
Yeah.
to get a takedown, right? The perfect counter as a striker to wrestlers is kicks, right?
Yeah, take away that mobility.
Yep. So I think it's why you don't see Alex Pereira ever really get taken down. I think he weakens his opponent too quick and too early, and it
Yeah.
makes it so that they're, no matter what they try to do to take him down, it's just weaker. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be putting money on this fight because I think that although I'm going with Pereira, I think that this is a fantastic matchup of styles. Okay.
Yeah.
You have Magomed is going to go in there facing a striker like he's never seen before.
Right.
Okay. He's going to feel power like he's never felt before. But on the other side, Alex Pereira has basically come into he's had the perfect career start for a kickboxer because he's
Right.
gone on there and he's fought kickboxers. Okay. And so that the threat of knowing that you're going against a wrestler is going to be enough to create even a slight bit of apprehension in Pereira striking. That could be a different Pereira too. You don't know what someone's going to look like when they at least have to have it on their mind, and especially if Magomed does what he should do and is at least show that he's willing to grapple pretty early on in the fight.
100%. Yeah. So that makes a whole lot of sense, but I think we both agree that we think Pereira's going to win, but it'll be
Yeah.
a super interesting fight for sure.